In this video, I'm going to be talking about Amazon FBA, what it is, and how beginners can start earning $100 to $1,000 per day passively. When I first started Amazon FBA, there was a massive lack of information on how to get started. And now, today, with the large increase of information, there's now too much information on how to do this. This has resulted in people that want to get started in Amazon FBA searching endlessly on Google and YouTube only to find information that actually contradicts other information they've seen. This makes it really hard for beginners to not only know what it's all about, but also have the information they need to know if it's actually a good opportunity or a bad opportunity. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the opportunity, decide if it's something that can still make money, and if you do start this business and you make money, how you can use it to continue to grow your business year over year. Chapter 1, what is Amazon FBA? Amazon FBA means fulfillment by Amazon. So this includes Amazon handling all the customer service, shipping and prep of the packages before they're actually sent to your customers from the fulfillment center. Now, when most people hear this, they think, wow, that's awesome. Amazon does everything for me. They start getting these ideas that they can create this passive income and go live on the beach and not have to do anything with the business. Well, that may be the case for some Amazon sellers, but those are people that have been doing it for years. You do need to be prepared to put in the hours and build the business to that point where it can actually give you that freedom. Chapter 2, how to get started. Now, there are so many different ways to get started, and the truth is a lot of people actually overcomplicate the process, but it really doesn't have to be complicated. When starting an Amazon FBA business, it's really important to keep in mind your future plans. So what I would do is I would literally just go to Alibaba, which is a wholesale website where you can buy bulk inventory, and I would find different products that I thought had potential, and then I would just go ahead and test them out. Now, while I was going down the rabbit hole of toys and games, I actually stumbled into kind of like a subcategory of toys and games, which was stuffed animals. They're kind of like a toy, but they're kind of not. So I went into this niche and I found a product. One of the products that I found was a stuffed elephant, and I just found it on Alibaba like this. Once I found the product that I wanted to source and sell on Amazon, I would then go ahead and click this button and contact the supplier. Now, once I'm on the contact page, I'm going to have a series of questions that I want to ask this supplier to ensure that they can actually get me the product that I'm wanting to sell on Amazon. So once you're on the message section, you're going to want to ask the supplier these questions right here. Now, MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. So that's going to indicate to you how many units you need to buy from this supplier, because some suppliers won't sell you a lower amount of inventory because it's just not worth it for them. So the minimum order quantity, price per unit, that one's pretty self-explanatory. How much does each unit cost? One thing about this is you want to ask how much the units cost based on two price points. So let's say 500 units and 5,000 units to see the price difference and make sure they're not messing with you. You're going to want to ask them about the unit weight. This can just really help you decide if the product actually has potential to do with the amount of cost it's going to be for all your shipping. So unit weight is important. Production time. You don't want to really work with products that would take forever to produce. And then sample order, just seeing how much it would actually cost to get a sample of the product. Sometimes it's free and you just got to pay for shipping. Sometimes they're going to need to create a design, and then in that case, you're going to have to pay them for the design time. But generally, it won't cost you a ton for the sample order. Now, in the initial stages, when I first started out, I wasn't really concerned about branding or too many of my long-term plans. I simply wanted to test some products on Amazon and see if I could find something that would sell. And there's not really anything wrong with this. The one recommendation that I would make, though, is if you're going to do it this way, at least stick to one niche. Try to create some form of a product line. Now, you'd want to do this for as short a period as possible because, of course, what I recommend when it comes to Amazon FBA is building a brand. This is the best way to get longevity out of your company and grow continually year over year. Now, buying inventory and selling it on Amazon is just one part of the business. And that's why the next step is building the brand. After testing some products, making some money, and losing some money, I realized that to establish long-term success with my Amazon FBA business, transitioning over to a brand was the best option. So when this transition occurred, basically I kept the same structure with the questions that I'm asking my suppliers, but then what I did is I would actually add in another section of questions And those questions are, can you add the logo to the packaging, and can you add the logo to the product? Now, some products, they're just not going to be big enough for you to actually put the logo on, so of course you place the logo on the packaging. And generally when starting out, I actually recommend putting the logo on your packaging as opposed to the product in the initial stages. As you continue to build your business, then you transition to the logo on the product. Of course, that's only if you're not building some high-end, high-quality product. If that's the case, I would put the logo on it right away. Now, this process of going to Alibaba, finding different products that aren't branded like all of these elephants, taking that product and actually placing your logo on it, that's what's called white label branding. Now, that's what a lot of these products right here are doing. So you can see it's a generic product. This product's been sold by so many different people, but as you can see, some people are actually putting their brand on the packaging, and you can see these are the ones that are actually doing quite well because people will actually purchase that product out of all this clutter, out of all this competition, just because it's an actual branded product. Now, when a customer comes in and sees this product, clicks on it, and decides to add it to cart and purchase it, Amazon's gonna go and ship that product to your customer from their fulfillment center. Amazon handles the customer service, and let's say your customer actually wants to return the product because they're not happy with it. Amazon will even handle the returns as long as you're set up with Amazon FBA. Now, once you get this process perfected, you just do it again and again and again. As you continue doing these steps, you're gonna notice you'll get really good at it, and then you'll be able to delegate those tasks to someone else because you're so seasoned in it and you know exactly what you're doing. Which is what brings us to chapter 4, which is your responsibilities. When it comes to Amazon FBA, Amazon will do a lot of the hard lifting. That's honestly why myself and other people love this business model. But there are still responsibilities that you need to handle as a beginner starting out. And this all starts with picking the right product. The truth is, Amazon doesn't care if you think this product's amazing. If it's not the right product, it will not perform. You gotta remember, Amazon wants products that will sell because that's how they make their money. So let's go back to when I thought plush animals were so great. I literally went and dove so deep into plush animals, it was kind of ridiculous, looking at all the different ones that I thought were selling well and trying them out on Amazon. And I actually ended up spending over $5,000 on inventory of plush animals, and I ended up losing money on that because I didn't pick the ones that would actually sell, and there's so many to pick from too. Now, this was a mistake that really could have been avoided if I would have done the right product research. And that's why product research is definitely one of the most important skills that you need to develop as a beginner. Now, I know you thought that was the end, but that's not the end. Another thing you're responsible for is keeping your inventory in stock. Now, running out of inventory is one of the most common mistakes, and in all honesty, there are occasions where even I run out of inventory too, because there's so many different things that go into it. It really is a complex process. Now, there's a couple different reasons why people run out of inventory, and that's because they're afraid of what would actually happen if they were to make these bulk orders on a continual basis. Will they sell all their units? So one major reason why people do this is based out of fear. Another reason is lack of confidence. So they're not super confident in the product that they've picked, and that's why they may decide to actually kill the product. Maybe they want to buy inventory. They don't really know. They're not confident in their decision. So that's another big reason. Now, these two reasons for running out of inventory are beginner reasons. So the reason why these are beginner reasons is because these are ones that are based off not being in the industry long enough. Once you've been doing Amazon FBA for long enough, fear is something where you just kind of laugh at it, and lack of confidence, you wouldn't have that if you were still surviving in Amazon FBA. You need to be confident to be able to do this business. So when it comes to these mistakes that come with inventory planning, and you've been a little bit longer in the business, there are other things that can happen. So these are the mistakes that if they happen, you can learn from them and figure out how to adapt your business. And these are the mistakes that people make when they're still seasoned in the business. This occasionally happen to me. So shipping route delays, there's nothing you can do about this. This is something that will occasionally happen, and it's very tough to plan for it because it's random. It's a very random event. Another thing is production issues. You can limit this, but you might get a bad batch of your product. Something might go wrong in the production process, and then you're out all that inventory and you have to replan your inventory planning. Warehousing issues. This can happen where inventory gets lost at the warehouse. That's something that's 100% possible. Chinese New Year, this is inevitable. All the warehouses shut down. around. This is something that you need to plan your inventory for. So inventory planning is definitely something that you need to take seriously as a business owner when it comes to Amazon FBA. Now, the final step after that is understanding marketing. If you don't market your products in today's market, there's a very low chance that they'll ever take off or gain the traction that they need to start getting those organic purchases. So when it comes to running successful ads, you're going to be working with keywords. Now, keywords are something you're definitely going to be familiar with as you build the business, because you're also going to be using keywords in your listing development. You want to make sure you're using all the right ones so that when you do start ranking, you're ranking for those terms organically too. Now, those same keywords you're going to be using in your Amazon PPC ads. These need to work together, because if you start ranking for a keyword in Amazon PPC, but that same keyword isn't actually on your listing, the chances of you ranking for that same keyword become non-existent, because if it's not on your listing, it's way harder to organically rank for that keyword. So trying to keep some congruency between your PPC and your actual listing keywords is super crucial, because then you can link it together and then you get this Powerball that just goes and gets you a bunch of sales organically and through your ads. Benefits of success on Amazon FBA. Now, there's a lot of benefits when it comes to Amazon FBA, but one of the biggest ones is definitely what we mentioned at the beginning of this video, the consistency in income. When you pick the right products, make sure they stay in stock and develop some really great ads and rank for some great keywords, you can generally have consistent flow of sales coming through your store. The second benefit of Amazon FBA is you don't have to deal with all the logistics of getting the product to your customer, prepping the product in the warehouse. And like I said, you don't even have to manage returns or customer service. They do that too. This removes a bunch of annoying tasks that come with traditional e-commerce. And as we all know, everyone loves fast shipping or is kind of addicted to it. So having Amazon Prime in your back pocket as a shipping method definitely makes you stand out compared to all other products on the internet. Disadvantages of Amazon FBA. Number one is the fees and costs. It costs money to sell on Amazon. You have to pay money for every order that comes through. You have to pay for them to ship that product to the customer, and you have to pay the platform and advertising fees. Second, there is risk that comes with that initial inventory purchasing, because you really don't know if the product will sell. Third is the cost of advertising. Especially nowadays, as Amazon's getting more competitive, the cost of advertising is higher, and the amount of work and money that it takes to properly rank a product definitely is higher than it used to be. Number four is returns and Amazon's customer policies. They give everything to the customer. Even if there's nothing wrong with the product, even if the customer doesn't ship anything back, even if they ship back a box of dirt, Amazon will refund the customer and you're going to be out that money. Now, this does happen occasionally, but what I've noticed is the best way to get around this is just ensuring that you have a really great quality product that no customers would want to return. And then that also kind of keeps away the buyers that would return products or do those kind of weird scam no return type things. How to be successful. So with all the steps and all the upfront costs of getting started with Amazon FBA, generally it will take months, if not years, for you to properly establish the business. So if that sounds like something you can't handle, then Amazon FBA probably isn't for you. But if you can handle the process of building a long-term sustainable business and the upfront investment it takes to build that initial traction, then you definitely have a high chance of being successful in Amazon FBA. And if you want to learn more about Amazon FBA, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be posting monthly videos on how you can grow your Amazon FBA business. If finding winning products is something you struggle with, then this video is the one you're looking for, where I take you through all the steps to find winning products and share the tricks I've learned that have helped me find several products that have generated over $100,000.